Let's talk baking, specifically bread baking. In 2006, Jim Leahy came up with the idea of no-knead bread. Mark Bittman wrote a great article in the New York Times about it. For me, the real revelation was that Leahy cooked his bread in a Le Creuset French oven. This was brilliant. This was a revelation. In professional baking, they have steam injection into the ovens, coats the bread, allows it to rise, get that good oven spring, develops, importantly, a really great crust. Well, that's exactly what happens in a Le Creuset oven when it's contained here. The bread goes into the oven, the bread releases moisture, but the moisture is trapped and it coats the dough and creates a professional caliber crust. This was a revelation. This is what I want to talk about here today, how to make professional caliber bread at home in a Le Creuset French oven. So here's how to do it. I've got about 20 ounces of flour here. We're going to put about 12 ounces of water, a cup and a half of water in here. And put the yeast in the water where the water is collected to get that dissolving. And we need some salt. And that's all that bread is. It's all the best bread is. And we're just going to mix that for about 10 minutes. Okay, this looks about ready. I'm going to see, we'll test it. Yep. I can get some elasticity, I can see through it. It becomes translucent, so I know it's good to go. And all we're going to do now is simply cover it with plastic wrap and let it rise for an hour or two until it's doubled in size. That's all there is to it. And this is after a good rise. As you can see, it's doubled in size. And you poke it, it bounces back ever so slightly. It's perfectly risen. Now we're ready to take it out and to knead it. You can let this rest a little bit if you want to shape it. It helps the gluten relax, but I'm just going to go ahead and shape it. So it's nice and tight. Develop structure inside. And it's ready to go into the French oven. Now it's very important that you oil the bottom of the French oven because the bread will stick to it if you don't. There we go. Now we're going to cover it. And we could actually bake this in a couple of hours, but what I like to do is leave it in the refrigerator overnight. It develops much more flavor in the slow second rise. Leave it out for an hour and then bake it at 450 to 500 degrees. Here it is. You can see it's increased in size considerably. First we're going to oil it. I like to have some olive oil. I also like some salt on it. And then I'm going to score it. You can score it anywhere you want. I like hash marks. See how that opens up? It allows the bread to open up. And this is going straight into a hot oven. Ready to go. It's that simple. Le Creuset is the top of the line. I've used other enameled cast iron products and they just don't match up. They scratch, they don't clean up as well, they get dirty and they look used. These are beautiful, they're heavy duty, indestructible, last a lifetime, fabulous products. You know, it's the only thing my family uses. Okay, this is cooked for about an hour. It sat for a little out. Beautiful bread, beautiful crust. Honestly, it's the best bread. The crust is fabulous, the crumb interior is beautiful. This is, bar none, the best way to bake great bread at home. Let's talk baking, specifically bread baking. In 2006, Jim Leahy came up with the idea of no-knead bread. Mark Bittman wrote a great article in the New York Times about it. For me, the real revelation was that Leahy cooked his bread in a Le Creuset French oven. This was